starting.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
I'm
How are ya?
Good. This is the
So busy
Magpies
week?
Cottage.
I'm Amy, Joanne's faithful as ever sidekick. I kind of crack up about that role. Kind of,
Oh,
I
okay.
love doing that. So what can I say?
Yeah.
I'm knitting a hat brim today.
Okay.
I mean, my designer friend, Stephanie Lachlan.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I mean, I have to admit, I've been testing her since she put out this very first baby. They were so cute. They were called Shozy Toes,
Okay.
and they were a baby flip flop.
Oh.
But it was intended for little feet who didn't walk yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they were so cute. And she was using the Ravelry test knitter. There's two groups out there that I know of. One is more strict than the other, but anyways, I found it through Ravelry, and it was one of her very first published patterns and my very first testing. And I made these adorable little flip-floppy things for Cora.
Okay.
And so now Cora's 7, so that's how long ago that was. Yeah, so she's got this book coming out in December, and this pattern that I'm testing is for the book.
Okay.
And I just couldn't resist. I just love, I mean, she's young and fresh and fun and does cool things for kids as far as, pattern design and whatever. And I thought, you know what? I just kind of can't say no to her.
Okay.
So
Tell everybody what her name is in Ravelry so they know where to look.
Telly Bean Knits is the group. And
That's
she
how
goes
it'll
by,
be in her book.
her Ravelry name, actually, her group and her patterns are all published under Telly Bean Knits. And that's because her oldest daughter was always called Telly Bean.
Okay.
And that's where it comes from. But Telly Bean Knits is the Ravelry group, but under Ravelry, her name is Needles and Yarn.
Okay.
So, she's publishing this book, and I'm sure that'll be under her name, which is Lachlan Ven. It's Lotven. And it's coming out in December. And so she's got these really quick test turnarounds just as she finishes a pattern for the book. She puts out a test call, and she limits the number of people that she has test because she doesn't have time to manage a big test group.
Right.
Getting this ready. And so a lot of times things have filled up. And there were things I wanted to knit and test for her that I couldn't. But this hat, see, and I can't really tell you too much about the hat because she doesn't want me saying anything until the book comes out.
Yeah.
But I can show you. It's a brim of a hat. Oh, wow.
Okay.
The best part is yet to come, and it is a really cute pattern.
Okay.
So, but for right now, yes, I'm working on a 2x2 rib. It's really boring, and I got to do a lot of it because it's got a wide brim on it. So, what can I say? Knitting 2x2 rib on short circulars. I can only do this part in small stretches because these short circulars always hurt my hands.
Yeah.
They just are cumbersome.
Mm-hmm.
So
I never got used to short circulars. I usually magic glue.
well, and I thought about that, but that when I'm doing this, I run out of patience. I want it done like now.
Okay.
So yeah, so I just suck it up and knit, as much as I can on it, and for the time being, this project will be my car project. until I get it done, which will be May 28th, because that's when it's due. For the book, she's also got really quick due dates.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So, and then because I love Stephanie and I couldn't say no, then she also asked, at the same time, had a test call out there for a baby sweater. And I just, you know what? Didn't have the heart to say no to that because it's cuter than cute. And it goes up to a size 2 toddler.
Okay.
And I was just having a conversation with my sister about her son, who is just a year. He was a year in March. And we were talking, he's not quite into toddlers yet, 2T. And, we were just talking size wise. And I just thought, I know how I can knit that for.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use the Perth.
Oh, yeah.
In this rainbow color. And well, I've got it started and it doesn't look like anything right now.
Right.
Because it looks like a swatch. But it's not. But I did use the beginning part of the pattern to swatch.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to go down 2 needle sizes. I think in that Perth is, it says it's fingering, but when Stephanie knit her sample, she used a squishy fingering, kind of a more heavier fingering. This isn't heavy fingering.
No.
So in order to get the gauge, I had to go down 2 needle sizes.
Okay.
But now that I did that, I like the fabric.
Okay, good.
So I'm very happy with the fabric, and I did measure the gauge, and it's spot on. Now I don't know how much that's going to bloom because you used it when you used it. You were using it for socks, so who blocks socks,
Yeah. And when you're knitting on a size 1 needle, it doesn't bloom a lot.
Yeah, and see, and I always knit my socks on a 0.
Okay.
To get them, to get gauge. And so this I'm knitting on a 2.
Okay.
We'll see. I mean, it has the stitch definition and the way the swatch looks, and it's in stockinette, so it's curling mercilessly. But the way the swatch looks, it'll be nice for a sweater. It's a nice gauge for a sweater.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, what's the purple stuff called? It's Queensland something.
Oh,
that's the rustic merino.
Merino sport.
Yeah, it's the Queensland rustic merino sport. I will tell you, I have never knit that yarn. I love it.
Mm-hmm. I like Queensland yarn. Yep.
And the funny thing is the Perth is Queensland also. So I'm going to put a plug in for Queensland. I mean, as a yarn brand, I really, the 2, I've never knit it. So I've got 2 projects on the needles with it right now. And I really, really like it. Uh-oh.
It's that darn Roomba again.
Oh, what did Roomba do?
Well, he came in and was making so much noise. I didn't want it to keep going. So I put Roomba on pause. Oh.
Roomba reminds me of Sharon from security.
Yeah. Oh.
We were talking about the Casapinka thing.
Yeah.
And so we might as well share that now because, Sharon from security is a Casapinka thing. So right. That's what made me think of it. So I got an email on it.
Yeah, I sent one this morning too. That was out for distribution. So we will be participating in National Hug Your Pet Weekend from Sharon from Security at Casapinka. June 4th and 5th. It'll be a free pattern. If you buy a kit from your local yarn store, much like she had that LYS Day offer. This will be the same. You'll get a code for the pattern for free. So we will have kits. They'll be on the website next week, all week, and then you can pre-order them and then pick them up on the 4th or 5th, or we can ship them out that day.
Now, I looked at the pattern a little bit, so I kind of want to put a plug in for the pattern. I know that there were many of you that knit the Breathe and Hope shawl. Mine is not finished yet, and that's only because, oh, I don't even have it here. Thought I brought it in. I didn't. Mine is, I have to bind it off, but I'm going to do a video of how to do that bind off when I get to it, either this afternoon or tomorrow. It's my wedding anniversary, so I got a few chores to do this morning, and then I'm going to come home and knit this afternoon. And then I got, of course, I got to go out with the old guy tonight, you know.
Yeah.
I like my
restaurant.
Yeah, we're going to go out to Fork and Dagger and Kiel.
Okay.
So
I went to a restaurant yesterday. I felt perfectly fine about it. I went to Log Cabin in Howard's Grove.
Well, if they had people spread out enough, it's okay.
Yeah, there were only like 3 other tables there besides us. A lot of people aren't going out yet, so it was fine.
Well, and that's what I'm hoping. You know, and I just told Ron, I said, okay, I'm not really crazy about this idea of going out yet. However, if we, you know, he did say that, you know, he had talked to the owner because he knows the guy, and he said, this is, you know, he explained the whole plan. And I thought, okay, that's a good plan. But then I said to Ron, I said, on the other hand, this is their first night that they're open. And if I walk in there and I want to go to sit down at the bar and have a before drink cocktail, and, you know, the bar is jam packed, you can rest assured we are not staying. And I told him that right up front, because I'm not. And, you know, he's going to just have to deal with explaining that to the guy who owns it, who, you know, is also a customer, you know, for his business.
Right.
And, you know, we have been making every effort when it comes to who we go order food from over this pandemic. It has to always be one of his customers. It must be. That's kind of our rule.
Yeah, you want to support them.
Yeah, we do. And, you know, those that we like to eat at, but didn't necessarily, you know, because there were some places that closed or that said to him, you know what, we don't need service now because our business is so down, blah, blah, blah. Well, we understand their predicament. Doesn't mean I'm going to go eat there, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So at any rate, so yeah, my Friday night knitting time though, because I have to go out with them tonight, is going to be severely hampered, and that just really annoys me. I'm getting this used to this stay home, and I have these nice, long, relaxing stretches of knitting time. You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't really get those. I plan on it on Monday.
Yeah, well, that's your day off. You know, I get that.
But Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, I'll be having kids to babysit because
Okay.
work all that time.
Yeah, so much for quiet time then, yeah.
No quiet time.
Yeah, well, and seeing at my house, there's no Cora this weekend, so it's going to be quiet around here. I've got a few yard projects that I want to do, but for the most part, you know, I'm hanging out at home doing a whole lot of nothing other than my yard projects. So I will get some good knitting time. So, I mean, why I'm whining about giving up my Friday night? Okay, I'm just being selfish, and I know that, so whatever.
But I understand today starts the Knit Girls Stash Dash.
Yes, and I have stash dash goals.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, my 3 shawls that are sitting on the needles right now, 2 of them are ready for bind off, my Breathe and Hope and my test knit It's called I think it's Bloomington is the name of the shawl.
Mm-hmm.
And that should be out soon from Lisa Ross.
Mm-hmm.
But Bloomington is ready for bind off, but that one's going to take a while only because I got, like 450 stitches on the needles or something. You know, I love the way a crescent shawl drapes and kind of just hugs your shoulders.
Right.
So you don't have to always be fussing with it laying right. You know, it stays put, and it's because of its crescent shape kind of just wraps around you. But damn, I hate knitting them.
Yeah, that bind off gets huge. Yep.
Well, that and when you got to the end where, you know, where the cool pattern stitch was, that I absolutely love this pattern stitch. And I will tell you, when I looked at my speckle with the pink flecks on this beigey gray background, and just next to my olive green, it was okay. But as soon as I did that thorn stitch where the two really intertwined, oh man, that's when I started loving the thing.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm real happy with the shawl, and it's going to be a beast to block because it is not a small shawl.
Okay.
So, but I did see somebody else that's testing it, and theirs is done, and the way the ends kind of curl on the crescent is just beautiful. So, and when I knit that, I knit it in a single ply, and single plies tend to drape really nice
and squishy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to finishing that one. So, and let's see, and my one with the leaves on it, I got all this yarn. So I kind of weighed my yarn on my last repeat, and every repeat adds 18 stitches over the course of 36 rows. So I think, based on my calculations, I have enough for another full repeat. Okay. So I think I'm going to do one more repeat and make it just, you know, a little bigger.
Okay.
So that one's not ready for bind off yet.
Okay.
Which is really too bad. I really wanted to bind them all off today.
Yeah. And then you can show them all next week.
Yep. Well, and I got a lot of blocking to do.
Okay.
Because and that's one of the things too I want to talk about with Breathe and Hope, because okay, everybody who knit it commented on how that slip stitch section pulls in so much compared to the knit one below sections.
Right.
And I'm thinking it's going to block, and you just kind of got to trust the process a little bit. Blocking is magic. We all know that, but sometimes you need a little bit more magic than others, you know? And so I'm thinking it will block fine. So my goal then is to also talk about how I'm going to block the thing. And so who knows, depending upon what happens, I might have 2 videos up.
Okay. And that's on Facebook in the Magpies Cottage readers group.
Yeah. And so that's my plan. I'm going to hope for a sunny day. So, cause I want to block it in my dining room. And like, even today it's overcast. My dining room is really dark.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think we're supposed to have kind of a cloudy, rainy weekend.
Well, it's Memorial Day weekend. Of course it's cloudy and rainy. Yeah. There's 2 things you can count on every year on Memorial Day. Cloudy, rainy. It just never fails. And then all the campgrounds are going to be filled with rookies.
Oh, yeah.
I can't help but laugh about it. Okay. This is a funny story. Just indulge me. When I was a kid, we camped all the time. And I come from a family of 6. And I'm telling you, packing this tent, we had this huge 10 by 16 foot cabin tent. And we called it, later, it got called the Hilton, because it was of tents. It was the Hilton of tents. Well, my dad was very particular about how he set up his tent and where he pitched his tents and just maintaining the tent. He was like, okay, my dad was not what I would call an anal person, but when it came to that damn tent, he was anal, okay?
Okay.
And so, and just the way he would pack our van, because we had this old cargo van, and he went and got from the junkyard bus seats, school bus seats,
Uh-huh.
and bolted the school bus seats to the floor. And so 4 kids of the 6 sat on the school bus seats. 1 kid was on my mom's lap, the youngest, and then Jenny always had, the engine of this van was literally this metal compartment, huge, obviously, right between the 2 front seats.
Right. Yep.
And so my sister, Jenny, sat on a blanket on the engine.
Oh.
And every other inch of space in this van was packed with camping crap. I mean, oh, the stove, the dish box, you know, all of it. Okay. So we'd go out to the campground on Friday afternoon if we had school. If we had off of school for some reason, then we would go out earlier than the day on Fridays, and we would camp Memorial Day weekend. And it was always a big deal for my dad to get out there and get set up early on a Friday. He said, because I want to be able to sit in my chair with a beer and watch the idiots roll in. Yeah. He would sit, and no kidding, it happened every year. I remember this. These people who have never, you know, they got a new tent and we're going to go camping, would always start out on Memorial Day weekend.
Sure.
And there they would be with their brand new tent in the dark, reading the directions on how to set up the tent. And it was like my dad had no greater camping joy than watching the idiots set up the tent.
Oh.
And as siblings, my brothers and sisters laughed about it all the time because Dad would want to have to sit. I mean, he'd literally park his lawn chair so he could sit and watch this every year.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so what happens? My sisters, my 2 younger sisters, the ones that rode on the lap in the engine compartment, they camp. We all camp still, you know, and Becky and Jenny both have nice, not huge, but RVs, okay, fully self-contained, you know, nice bathroom and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going camping this weekend. And I couldn't help but give my sister Jenny crap because this is the maiden voyage of their new RV. And I said, oh, Jenny, do you got the instruction manuals along so you can be out there with the idiots? And my gosh, did she laugh. Oh my gosh, it was funny. So yeah, my sisters are on their maiden voyage with the new camper. I wish I could be a fly on the wall just to watch how they're gonna level it the first time, because the campground that they're going to is the same one that my family always goes on the annual family trip.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hilly. I mean, there are no flat spots in this campground. Okay. And so you got to really use your leveling system on your RV. And so that's what they're doing. Okay. Enough Amy indulgence.
Okay.
Yes. I'll be thinking about them though, as they are pitching the tent.
Well, this week I haven't done a lot of knitting, a little bit on all my different sweater projects. Right now I'm working on my marled one.
Oh, I love that sweater. I'm telling you, that is just the way the colors are flowing on that. Yeah. For being completely random, it's just beautiful.
But what I have been doing a lot is sewing. I'll show you the bags. I'm going to put them on the website later today. But this one, I really love the colors. I have irritable owl syndrome.
Oh my gosh, that's cute.
Yeah, I love this one. Now, look at this one. A bear. Feed me and tell me I'm pretty. And this one is a turkey, and it says, let's get basted. And they're all fully lined. I've been doing the same color lining as I do this stripe. So
Okay.
I'm doing that till I run out of this blue fabric. This one is on the panel, and then this one coordinates. So
That's really nice how they work so well together.
yeah. So I will. I'll keep making them this way till I run out of these fabrics. I'm having fun with it. Sometimes I put a fabric handle, and this is 4 layers thick on each side. And sometimes I put the, the strapping, if that's not consistent. But on these 3, it's all the fabric. So yeah, that's what I've been doing this week, is working on bags. I have 3 more kits that I cut all out and they're ready to sew. So maybe I'll get those done today.
Wow, that's still a lot of sewing.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've been working on these since Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and all I got done was 3 bags. So.
Well, I got a new project for you.
What's that?
Oh, you're gonna have to add this to your repertoire of bags and things. And I'm sure you can do this. Okay. Because I test knit for Laura Ayler. All the testers, when she does a test, have the opportunity to participate in a drawing. She doesn't give, for testing for her, you get a free pattern. Well, I own all the Laura Ayler patterns I want, so that's no big deal to me. But nonetheless, then she has a drawing, and the last couple have been a bag from a friend of hers who does bags on I think it's an Etsy shop, and it's called That Clever Clementine. Okay. And what she's done is a yarn bowl, but not a yarn bowl that you would feed the yarn through like a hook or something. It's just a bowl that's big enough for the ball to roll around. So here's my bag. All right. Okay. I mean, this is at least 7-8 inches in diameter, the bottom circle. Okay. And then it's fully lined, no edges. And there is something in the bottom that stiffens so that it sits. And the point now, I folded the cup over because I like the outside fabric and the inside fabric, together. I like the way that looks.
Sure.
But what this does is it sits on the floor or next to me or wherever. And my cake of yarn can roll around.
Okay.
And so that's what this is supposed to be. And, she's got some, really cute coordinating fabric. So this is what I won from doing that knit along. But I'm going to bring it in by you so you can kind of take a look, because I think this would be neat to add. There's a little bit of something between the layers too, because I can feel its thickness, and this has got a little stiffness to it. So I'm sure you'll figure it out once you look.
Okay.
But I just love these 2 coordinating fabrics together.
Yeah.
And what's neat about this one, okay, so then my prize was this bowl and this project bag. Oh. Now, the project bags have a little bit of, it's your standard shape. I mean, there's nothing rocket science about this. She's got the little ring and the clip on there. There's nothing inside or no pockets. It's completely enclosed like yours are.
Okay.
Definitely. And the bottom would stand up. And then she irons on her tags on the inside. I don't know. I don't have a preference on that. But what I love is the way she coordinated the fabrics. So this one, it's got balls of yarn and swatches with knitting needles. and then the inside is loops.
Okay.
Can I, oh, see how it's loopy,
Oh yeah. Yep.
you know? But what's kind of fun is that actually on this one, this is neat. These are knitting needles, and it's just
Oh, they
really hard to tell.
are. Okay.
Yeah. So even though there's four different fabrics here,
Uh-huh.
they all coordinate.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But anyways, I just love this idea of this yarn bowl. Believe it or not, I do this very thing with a project bag.
Oh yeah.
When
Yep.
I have when, like for example, sometimes I'll take my cake of yarn and I'll pull from the inside, but sometimes I'll go from the outside.
Right.
And the reason I chose, well, it's funny. The two projects I just cast on that I'm testing, both of them I chose to go from the outside. And when you go from the outside, well, then it wants to roll around,
Sure.
you know?
I use
And
that bag from Silver Shed for that a lot too. The one we got at ZK last
oh
time.
yeah, because that's got that nice
That bowl.
base on it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring this in and I want you to take a look at it. And, it might be kind of fun to find some coordinating fabrics and experiment a little bit,
Okay. All right.
and who knows, maybe I'll sew these
Okay. Somebody came in my shop. Oh, it's my sister.
uh,
Okay. Yeah. So, are you working on anything else or is that it?
the 3 shawls. And then I cast those 2 on yesterday.
Okay.
Oh, my sock. I got it here. I did want to show you my sock. Okay. The pattern is called Skew.
Uh-huh.
And so you're taking a self-striping yarn, or you could use any variegated. I think it would lose it if you used a solid or a semi-solid. You want pattern in your yarn. So this is my sock, and I kind of got a stretch. All right.
Okay.
So if you look, here is the toe, but your Judy's Magic cast on for your toe right here is on the side of the toe.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So in doing that, then here's the toe and there's the rest of your foot.
Uh-huh.
And what it does is, because of increasing and decreasing, your sock is knit on the diagonal.
Yeah, that's cool looking.
Yeah. And so my self-striping yarn then is all on the diagonal. So now I'm at a point where you're going to start to put in a mini gusset.
Yeah. That's going to be a challenge, huh?
Well, I don't know. It's just simple. Look, from reading the pattern, it looks like there's increases and decreases in strategic locations.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
okay. But so that's the other thing I'm working on.
Okay.
And this, yeah, okay, this I did get a little bit of work done on this week, but
Okay.
it's not been a good week for knitting, so.
Right.
But at any rate, I'm liking the sock. But one thing you do have to recognize that this, where your increases and decreases are on your edges. Let's see. This is the decrease edge.
Uh-huh.
No, that's the increase edge. The increase edge, you got to pull it.
Oh.
But the designer and Megan from ZK,
Yeah.
she's knit these things a bazillion times.
Okay.
And she says, it's amazing. You look at them and you look, those aren't going to fit anybody's feet. And she says, they do. They, it's like where the increases and decreases are, it's like the decreases make it hug your foot.
Right.
So we'll see. I don't know.
Okay.
But I love the yarn. It's called Dark Fire. It's by Fiber Nymph.
Yeah, very nice.
And I just love it. I knew it was going to be very bold.
Yeah.
So it's bold.
Okay. Yeah, but it'll be cool.
Yeah. Might be, this might be a fun pattern if we to do's like for sock club, because it's a completely different construction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
When you take pictures of it, you'll have to do it when they're on your feet for your project page.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, have to be on your feet. Can't just take those on blockers or anything.
you're right.
Yeah.
Well, I think the diagonal will show on blockers too.
Okay.
I think it will. Yeah. But I'll put it on my feet too.
Yeah, I think that'll look best. So,
So that's what I'm working on.
okay.
I have way too many projects on the needles. It's kind of bugging me.
Oh, I like a lot of projects on the needles. Then I have knitting everywhere I go.
Well, see, my general thing is 3. I
Uh-huh.
don't like more than 3.
Oh,
And more than that, and I start to like, I get antsy and itchy, like I gotta get these done. I gotta get these done.
but
And
you'll have a weekend like this weekend, and now you'll finish up a whole bunch. And it'll be
well, that's
fun.
true, and that's going to be a lot of fun
Yeah.
because my intent this weekend is to finish the 3 shawls and get those off the needles. And then once I finish the 3 shawls, then I'm going to finish the hat, and then I'm going to alternate between the baby sweater and the sock.
There you go.
So I kind of do have a plan of how I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And then my next project after that is going to be my, I'm going to do the striped pillows.
Okay.
Not not the self-striping ones that I bought that other yarn for, the sesame. I'm going to wait and do that one.
Okay.
I'll do that one later. But I want to do the striped ones because I have this yarn that I want to try.
Okay.
So
That sounds.
I kind of do, it's crazy. I got my projects all lined up.
Mm-hmm. I keep
So,
changing my mind because something new and shiny will show up, so I'll have to
oh,
put it.
yeah, that's that whole squirrel thing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think we're done then.
Oh my.
Yeah. Till next week.
Till next week.
Yep.
So,
Okay,
okay.
buddy. See you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.